Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Morning Cup. I am so excited today because I have Sri with me. She is a video content coach. Amazing. I haven't met anyone quite like her. I actually met her in Clubhouse almost a year ago or over a year ago now. And I'm just so fond of her work and what she's been doing and what she's been up to. But Sri, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And it's a funny story. I interviewed you and now you're interviewing me. So now I know what it's like to be in the hot seat with you.
I love it. Well, welcome. I know you already put me through the hot seat, so I figured it was your turn.
Yeah.
And that was such a fun interview, and I'm so excited for today as well. But I would love for people to know your journey. How did you get into video content creating and being a coach around that? Because I know that's not how you started out. So I'd love for everybody to know a little bit more.
So how it started was that I started a business in 2019 as a virtual assistant, and that was not what I liked doing, but I needed to start something to leave a legacy behind to my daughter, because when my ex-husband, her father passed away, he didn't leave anything, and his family disowned her. So I had to think quickly on my feet. I need to leave a legacy, and a 9 to 5 is not what I can leave behind. So I started my business, and along the way, people kept telling me testimonies are so important. And something was placed on my heart, hear their journey, hear their story. And I was like, how do I do that? I don't have a studio, I don't have the right equipment, I need to have it perfect. And then the pandemic hit, and I saw my friend on Instagram interviewing people, and I was like, I can do that. So after 9 people, the 10th person said yes. And that's how I started interviewing guests on Instagram. I did not have formal training. All I knew was I knew how to close a guest because of sales. I knew how to ask questions, do the research. So these are soft skills that I learned along the way. And after 100 lives, my coach, I started working with a coach, and she was like, if you don't like doing what you're doing, what do you have a passion of? And I was like, well, I love helping people get confident to be able to share their story. So then she started asking me, like, how many of those hundreds ever did a live or a video? And I was like, 40 of them never did. I coached them. It was the first time. And then she said, that's it. That's what you're going to do. And so then this is how I started to really post and grow my business on LinkedIn. And I gained a lot of visibility. But at the same time, I had a 9 to 5. I was doing something way opposite of my 9 to 5. I was in oil and gas. However, they did not like that I had this side gig because they had some concerns. And ultimately, in December, I got laid off 9 days before Christmas. The greatest lesson I learned from it is that even if you are wanting to build something, you still can. You just might want to do a little bit more smarter than I, maybe create another page, not be connected to anybody. If you decide that you want to take your business on LinkedIn, make sure you have a different profile and do not connect with anybody at work. But LinkedIn is a great resource to do your business. And if you're not looking to start a business, you can definitely build visibility to who you are, because the point is that because I was doing video and helping people get confident in front of the video, there was so much visibility. When I posted that I got laid off, so many people reached out to me, like for 6 weeks to like 8 weeks, I had people just reaching out, making sure I was okay. And that support system is something that a lot of people don't have. And so even though I focus on video, I just want to say that if you are feeling alone or feeling like there's nothing out there for you, you'll be surprised. I mean, I didn't even meet Caroline in person. We met online, and then through our content, we built a friendship. So that's like the long story. And here we are.
I love that though. And I mean, I think too, we were talking about before, like just sometimes the path seems really dark, like of losing your job or a situation happening and not really knowing what's next. But a lot of times when we allow ourselves to go down that path and see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it just really helps you focus in on your business and being able to grow that. And I love that you do have such a strong community and you are such a sweetheart. And that's how we built the friendship too. But I think as well, like being able to have a support network of just like-minded people, and really it shows of your character as well, of like the people that reached out to you for weeks after everything happened, just making sure you were okay. But I'm curious with LinkedIn to kind of dive a little deeper into that, because not many people know how, not that they don't know how to use LinkedIn, but they don't use it as a resource or how to grow their business. How have you been really able to utilize LinkedIn for your business?
So when it came to my business, I actually started off on Instagram and I would come to LinkedIn. It was after I started working with my mentor that I started to understand LinkedIn and really understand content creation. I mean, I knew a lot of stuff from Instagram about engagement, um, going live. I learned how to create carousels, but it's really that when you're on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's a different beast because they're a little bit older. They want the genuine connection or they want the genuine content. They're really big on inspiration and education. So if you look at what you put on on Instagram, they have more of the pillars. You have education, you have a piece of being creative, meaning like you can entertain. You
Yeah.
can bring that to LinkedIn, but you're going to see more inspiration, more education, and inspiration is more on the, or at least entertainment part. You'll want to bring it towards the weekend or even hump day, like Wednesday, because people like a little bit of something different.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that LinkedIn is always business, but I'm saying that don't think that you have to be serious all the time. If it's always teaching, then they're not going to want to watch. But if you're giving some fun, then to a point they want to know what is, are you just that or are you more than that? So I would say just go on there, start to navigate, go through the different profiles. You'll see who are those profiles that everybody goes to. Why do they have so many people? Then you'll also learn like there's some LinkedIn experts that will help you to understand. Like to this day, I still have room for improvement, like just the simple things. But I the key takeaway from this is don't dismiss LinkedIn. It is a very powerful platform. It is something that you will be surprised. You can go live. The lives are a lot different when you go there because now you have more eyes. There's a lot more people who have the money that you're looking for. I know that Instagram has it, but at least on LinkedIn, after a while, they will reach out to you. I did a live just the other day, or actually last night, and I already have somebody in my inbox very interested to work with me. And I can't say that every time on Instagram that happens, but I can guarantee you on LinkedIn, I've gotten more of those types of inquiries.
I love that. And it's like that population too, like knowing your audience. And I think like Instagram is so great with lives, and that's where you started with your lives and being able to grow from that and all the different people that you've interviewed, because you've interviewed over 100 people, probably over maybe 200 people at this point, right? How
I
many have you?
I'm at 100. Well, if I count both Instagram and LinkedIn, I'm about 200 something.
That's incredible. See, people, if you need her, she is the person for you. But when it comes to videos, what have you learned? Like, I know you actually did, I think you did a video about this, like your journey of like after 100 lives. Like, what was the biggest like takeaway for you? What you learned of just interviewing different people, but also for yourself too?
One thing that I learned about interviewing people is listening and asking really good questions and feeling the room. So if I know like something's off, I know how to reset them because I talked to them before. And what I learned from the interviews is that it's not just the focus on the person. not just the focus of the audience, but you are also, you, the host, you, the individual has something of value. You are worthy. You have a story, that you do matter. Because a lot of times you'll notice that, yes, they're coming on live. Yes, they're doing the interview, but when you get them by themselves, they're very scared to share their story. They're very scared to be put in the spotlight, and they don't see their value. And I was that person. It took me like last year, it was, I think, October or something, that I actually started crying. I think it was October. Yeah, last year. I started crying because somebody asked me, what is your biggest obstacle? And I was like, realizing my value, realizing my worth. And I didn't see that, because I was like, why would somebody want to pay me to work with them? And I think it was way before I started my second business, which was in June, now that I
Mm-hmm.
think about it. But it was that whole piece, and it took me a long time. And in between that, I also had a daughter that went to college, so I had to learn what it's like to be alone, and her impact in my life. In
Mm-hmm.
August, I would cry every day. And some people are afraid to cry on camera, and I
Yeah.
did it. I even had moments where I got into a dark place, and I actually shared that, like, hey, because there's so many people that I had brought on mindset coaches, you were one of them,
Mm-hmm.
where you were like, if you need help, ask for it. If
Mm-hmm.
you need help, just pick up the phone. And when you're in that moment, you may not think like that, but
Yeah.
these lives actually helped me. These interviews made more of an impact in that moment, because I just got into I just was feeling alone. I was like, I'm alone. I don't have anybody. My daughter is somewhere else. I don't want to bother her. But she was the person that called. And when I started talking to her, I was just like, hey, I'm going through this and I'm feeling this way. And she was like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's get through this. And
Yeah.
then I actually did a story, and the amount of love and support of the community, which I was shocked to see,
Yeah.
came pouring in and was like, you're not alone. Next time, just call me, just reach out to me, just say whatever. And that, it was, thinking back, many of the people who actually said that were people that I interviewed. That made me realize, like, I'm not alone. Even though I've never met them physically,
Mm-hmm.
that's the part that I would say that means the most to me, because it's like, you have times where you're like, crap, this sucks. I lost my job. I don't have the money to pay for this, or I'm in this really depressed state of mind, or I was in this relationship, may not have been great, it may have been great, and now I'm here. What do I do? Who do I talk to? You'll be surprised who you can talk to.
You're absolutely right. And, I think it's so amazing that you were able to be so vulnerable. And especially with your daughter, too. I think a lot of times, just from like my background in psychology, like family dynamics, parents sometimes don't always share those emotions with their kids. That's not, I mean, it could go either way, but I think that takes so much courage and strength, and that's what vulnerability is. And being able to do that with your daughter, and I know you're very close with your daughter, and I know that was probably really hard for you. Well, I don't know personally, but really hard being apart from her and just letting her go to college and seeing her thrive, but also dealing with empty nest syndrome as well as she goes. But I think it's a testament to your character of being open and being able to understand, okay, this sucks, and that's okay. It's okay to feel like that at that moment, but it's put moving through that, not disengaging from it, not acknowledging it. But when we acknowledge that, we can really move forward no matter what is going on in life. But I think that's really showing your story just is very inspiring because of everything that you went through the last year and a half, 2 years, and what you've been able to accomplish, and not let it deter you from the goals that you have for yourself, for your family, for your future. And
Mm.
that's what I think the main message is as an entrepreneur. It's not all like the highlight reels of like, oh, I'm going here, I'm there, I'm out to dinner. It's the grind, but it's also taking care of ourselves. And there's this hustle culture of we gotta like do this, do that, not sleep, not eat, just focus on work. But the reality is, if we don't take care of ourselves, that's going to have a major impact. So I'm curious, how did that look like for you when you started moving, transitioning solely on your business?
So when I started transitioning, I really had a hard time because it was like, okay, it was like a relationship. I was with the
Mm-hmm.
company for 4 years, and then I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. And then I had to learn to say, I am enough. And that even got to the point of realizing, okay, I need to sit down and understand, where do I need help? Where do I need to start focusing on so that I can pour that back into my clients, even into my videos? Because as I was starting to learn and learn better copywriting, learn how to story tell, this was starting to get into my videos. And then learning how to get even to the point in the videos, because we have TikTok, we have Instagram Reels, and then you have LinkedIn videos. But I've also learned that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can have a piece of content that can speak to all platforms. It may not do well on every single platform, but it will resonate to who it needs to. And that took time. I'm not saying that right now I know it all, but I can tell you, like, I understand we you are you are your worst enemy. You sleep with yourself every night, and that is you are your worst enemy. I When I read that sentence, like, you sleep with the enemy every night and it's
Yeah.
yourself, I was like, it is, because we're the reason why. If we don't do certain activities in the day, then we're not going to have the certain results that we want at the end of the month. So it's the same thing. If you're not clear, you're kind of like, I know what I want to say in video, but I don't know how to do it. But if I keep watching, you could do that. Or you can invest into yourself and get there faster. Because guess what? I've already made the mistakes and I still do.
We all do.
But I actually educate you and say, hey, when you start off, you don't have to have everything. You just have to have what you have. Like, where I'm right now, staying in an Airbnb, and I'm taking advantage of using every element that I can find in this Airbnb, because it's an apartment complex. So I'm making sure I go outside to the pool and to the different areas to take video. You'll be surprised, even in your walk to work, along the way, or you'll find so many places. So it took me January and February to figure this out. Like, where do I want to be? Every day got a little bit better. Some days were harder. I still have my moments, even in this day. It's been 90 days. However, I have learned, like, if I want to get where I want to go, I got to get serious. And what does winning, from Tim Grover, what does winning mean to
Yeah.
you? And I've learned winning does not care about you or I. Winning is just, it messes with your head. Once you win, that's it. Because tomorrow you start, actually, you think about it, 2 hours later, you got to start over again, and you got to put in the work to get to where you want to go. And so, what does that work look like? What do those habits look like? What is going to get you there? Because life throws you curveballs. And today's video will go great. It took you 10 minutes to do, but tomorrow's video might take you longer. Why? Because it's just, you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound, you don't like the way that the setting looks, you don't like the lighting, or the weather is just messing up, or like something's happening upstairs. If you're in an apartment, what is going to help you reset your mind and realize it's not about that, about you? What is this limiting belief? What are these excuses you're allowing? What are these stories you're allowing to get the best of you? How are you going to push through? And then the question is, how are you going to take the action? Because you could sit all day and think, what am I going to do? Or you could take the action and make it happen.
Oh my gosh, it's so spot on. It's so funny. When I first started video, like 4 years ago, like my first Facebook Live, it was rough. Like I looked back at it, came up the other day and I'm like, oh, But you know what? Like, to your point, it's a mindset thing. And the more you practice it, the better you get. Like, right now, even my lighting's not the best. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's about the content. It's about knowing that we're delivering a great interview and just hearing the words of wisdom that you have from video as well. But it's having that confidence of, it's not about the outside stuff. It's about really what's going on in that moment and allowing yourself to push through it, because that's the only way you're going to get through it. Like, there's so many excuses we can make of just like even what you're saying. It's like, oh, I don't feel good, or my hair's not right, or this isn't right, or the lighting, or the noise outside, or whatever it may be. Because I've said those excuses before when I would go live on Instagram. But I think too, it's a testament when we're able to have that right mindset of, I'm going to do this. There's like a approach to it, and that's exactly what you help people with too. Like, when it comes to what you do in particular, what have you seen, like any common themes come up with some of the clients that you've worked with so far?
So far, it's been that I don't have the time. Well, if you don't have the time, that means that what is really holding you back is the fact that you're worried about the editing, you're worried about the technology, you're worried about, I don't have the perfect set, or I don't have the headphones, or I don't have, maybe you have psoriasis. I have psoriasis. Maybe you don't like the fact that when you appear on camera, you don't like the way you look. And these are like common things. And then there's the story of, I'm an introvert. Well, I believe you, I know there are introverts, but why do you believe that if you show up on camera, people are going to realize you're an introvert? They don't know. So it's really like, okay, showing up on camera because of what somebody said to you when you were younger. Like, you realize that there's stories. And you'll also
Yeah.
see in this interview that I don't focus on, like, yes, short form video is important. You can read all about it, you can know all about it, but yet you're not doing it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
There's facts, there's figures, there's sources out there. You're seeing that TikTok is used as a search engine more times than Google, and yet you still don't have a video on TikTok. You are that person watching TikToks. You are not the creator on TikTok. You are on LinkedIn, but you are not posting a video. You are posting a picture, a poll. Why? Because you're like, well, I don't get the reach. It doesn't matter if you don't get the reach. What you're getting are the people who want to work with you, who hear your voice and can connect with you. So what is the real reason you're not doing the video? And that's where I focus on. While some coaches will focus on, okay, maybe it's the technology, maybe it's this, I will do it all for you and make you look great. All you got to do is show up. I'm the person who's like, okay, let's dig down. Like, I was that person. I had to go through this journey. I actually posted in my stories for the last few days, it's about mistakes and just showing my journey from 2000, just a picture, just 4 pictures from 2019 to 2022. And somebody pointed out, I can see the smile is more in your eyes and in your face over the years. And this is the truth, because I was starting to work on myself in 2019, and it's just gotten increased, or you could say. Same thing with showing my setup. I was so scared to show my setup because it was lame. Like, it didn't have the proper lighting. I was using a hair tie or a ribbon, a globe, and a jewelry box. That was my setup. And I was embarrassed to show it. But somebody told me back then, that will be your greatest moment because you started. And now when I showed that picture of the evolution, because I even travel, if you look at my setup, I have like multiple lights. I have a mic that's I could travel with. When I showed that picture, it has had the most views on stories because it was a journey, an evolution. And had I not taken the first step, had I not put aside and said, who cares what I look like? I know I feel comfortable when I do my makeup. I'm a 40-year-old woman. I feel comfortable when I do my makeup. I'm just going to go live. And that's going to be one less thing I'm going to focus on. I can focus on like, okay, this technology is coming really fast. I mean, I'm making sure the guest is there, and there's all these other things that I got to focus on. I just never focused on myself. And that's what I hear a lot of people like, oh, on TikTok, they're going to look at my face and they're going to see what I sound like. They don't care. They really don't care on TikTok. I mean, that's one brutal platform. They don't
Yeah.
care. But I will say this, on LinkedIn, they care for you as a person. They will not tolerate bullying. They will actually stand up. They will encourage you. They don't want to see you fail. So if you're afraid, like, oh my God, if I go here, why don't you go where you feel comfortable too? I would also say, if you're looking for a certain age group, where are they? I know 35 and older on LinkedIn and Facebook, and they're also on TikTok because they're putting out, I mean, you won't see the dancing. You'll also see like cooking, cleaning. I give tips on there, but you'll also find just good old like business tips. So if you want to do that, you could do that. Just don't limit yourself. Open your mind and your heart to what is the possibilities that are out there.
I love that. I have to back up for a minute. When you were talking about TikTok of like being on there, I was like, oh, she's talking to me. It's partly, and then I was like going to say an excuse. I was like, well, I don't have time, but that's my goal this month is to get on TikTok. But I think like everything that you were saying too, it's really about just taking it step by step and creating opportunities for yourself and not holding yourself back or getting in your own way, because I think sometimes we do that, just like sleeping with ourselves every single night. Being able to understand and recognize the opportunities that can be available to us if we allow it, and not putting those roadblocks in ourselves. So like for you, for instance, for you, your focus was like, okay, make sure the person I'm interviewing is there, the lighting's good, all of that stuff is such an imperative part. But when you were talking about like how where you started with the first video till now too, that's I got chills. And I wanted to mention that because it just shows to the journey of how everybody starts somewhere, but as long as you take that action and allow yourself to get better at it, because nobody is an expert right away. If they are, let me know who they are because I would love to meet them. But I mean, the reality is it's not very common. But I love that you did show that, and it shows in our energy and how we show up when we really start working on ourselves and allow ourselves to be on camera. We can have all the excuses in the book, but I think what you do help your clients with, it's not just being on video, but like the confidence level, the mindset, everything underneath it all, and really digging. Because I think sometimes it stays at a surface level, but when we can get under the hood and understand what's going on and be able to really propel forward. And that's what I've seen, like from what you've told me, what I've seen, like just on your stories and client successes as well. Like that's amazing. And I think that's something that we really need to look at, of how people approach coaching and just understanding the depth of it. Because a lot of people are like, well, why would I need a coach? And so why would somebody need video content coaching?
I will always say this, why wouldn't you want
Yeah.
to go faster in learning how to get confident in front of camera? Like there are so many creators out there who will teach you this.
Mhm.
But the question is, are you going to be the person that's just continue to watch? Or are you going to put in the investment? Because I've learned when you put in the money and you feel the pain, you're going to do the work.
Mhm.
And if you're that person who could just put the money and not feel the pain, then that's you. But I know for me, it's a pain. I have to put in the work. And yes, there are moments I might slip up, but I keep going. And I look back, I'm not the same person. I look back at when I started working with my coach and where I am today, like it was worth it to me. The amount of people that I've met, the amount of visibility that I have, what I learned, what I was able to teach to other people, and then just continue to grow. Even just, I was like, okay, well, I worked with one and I got this much success. Let me work with another and another and another. And then I do understand like when you start to invest too much, that you have to pause and say, you know, enough is enough. Let me apply what I've learned.
Yeah.
Let me help other people, and then come back and realize what is it that I need. So I would say, yes, I would love to help you. I have a 1 hour and I have a 6 week coaching program where we go into, like, the 1 hour is just, you can ask me anything, whether it's going live for the first time. And I help walk you through the technology and you go live. Like, you are going to go live. It may not be perfect, but you're going to go live. And then I have the 6 week coaching program where I walk you through why do you, your mindset to all the way to creating a live series where you are thriving and building your business. Because at the end of the day, when we look at facts, just you can look it up. When you look up, video marketing or live streaming, you will see more and more companies are moving towards doing a day where they have a live stream. Like, you're going shopping in Walmart, or you're going shopping on Amazon, or even with, Chanel or Louis Vuitton, they're doing lives. Why? Because they want to show you what it's like. Hey, you have this bag, this is what it feels. If it's a technology, I know in Australia they do it a lot, where they invite their current clients and they invite potential clients to check out their newest software that they're about to launch. They give them a test, a feel of what it would be like with their business. And then on the spot, you have the chance to ask questions. Now, if a company can do that, why can't you have that for yourself?
Mic drop. Well said. And I think too, it's when we do invest in ourselves, we're investing in our future. And yes, you can like overinvest in certain things, but when you look at it, it's to get you from A to B quicker versus, yes, you can do this stuff on your own. You can Google it, you can go on YouTube. There's so much information, but when you have somebody that is supporting you and holding you accountable, that's what I think changes everything. I know I've had several coaches in different capacities, and I know like being a coach for video is the future. I mean, it's already here, but like it's only going to grow from here. And yes, there's lots of facts about it as well. But I have been having so much fun asking you so many questions, but we're going to get into the rapid fire questions so people can get to know you just a little bit more. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready.
So she hasn't seen these. Some people have seen my questions, some haven't, but Sri has not. So the first question is, who is your hero?
Okay, this is easy. God and my daughter.
I love it. And why both?
Well, I'm very spiritual, and I just know that we wouldn't be here. I believe in this. We wouldn't be here without him, but he knows the plan. If I'm not supposed to be here, that's his plan. And then my daughter, because she came into my life and she's changed it. She's opened my heart and my mind about things that I would never think of. She's taught me so much, and she's wise beyond her years. So she is my hero.
I love that. Just felt my heart like warm up a little. Because I know you and your daughter are very close. What motivates you to work hard, work smarter?
Well, it goes back to my hero.
Love it.
It goes back to my daughter. And also, it's something that I can share with others. Like, hey, how about you try this? You don't have to listen to what I say, but I learned the hard way and I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what it's about, right? And so, if you were a superhero, what would be your power or powers?
So, if I was a superhero, I would want to be, I know I'd want to be able to be fast and like go to two different locations super, super fast, or get through to do tasks super, super fast. But the other thing is that a superpower that I already know I have is that I'm unique, because I know how to connect and develop real relationships with people. Like, I have so many followers and it takes me time to get to know them, but that's because I want to do that. So you're not a number, you're a person. So that is not a superpower that's out there that I see in other superheroes, but that is a superpower that I own.
I love that. I haven't heard an answer like that, and I think that just shows your uniqueness too. But it's about that connection, right? I think that human connection is so important, and being able to get to know the person on a deeper level versus a surface level too, and have that true, genuine connection.
Mhm.
Awesome. Great answer. So if you were to share a meal with four individuals, living or dead, who would they be?
One of them would be my brother. One of them would be Maya Angelou.
Mm.
One of them would be um, Siddhartha. He's actually Buddha.
Mm.
And I would also want to have dinner with somebody, and some of you may know who he is, some of you don't, but it's Sri Satya Sai Baba. I would love to have dinner with him. So I'd have these four people.
And the last one, oh, for people that don't know,
He's
who?
a spiritual guru that used to live. He passed away in 2010 or 11 in Easter time. So like, if I was ever to have dinner with him, that would be one. And all the people that I listed are really, some of them are not here. Some of them are. Well, actually, no, none of them are here.
Well, I'm sure it would be great to see them again, experience that new relationship that you could get to build, and that
Yeah.
human connection of having a meal of just very diverse but really influential people in your life.
Yes, definitely.
I want to come to that dinner. I always say dinner, but like I feel like it's any meal that I would love to come. Biting myself. Um, what's the most daring thing you've ever done?
Go live on camera.
I love it. Full circle.
I'm not lying. I mean, there's been a lot. Like I had a child when nobody, my whole family was against it. Starting this business when everybody's against it, going live when I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
But you know, those are the best situations, right? Where you're able to come on top. And a lot of times people are always going to have an opinion, but ultimately it's doing what's best for us at the end of the day. And especially a lot of people don't understand entrepreneurship unless they've been in it, or then they even have their own opinions about it based off their experiences. So it's really going back to like trusting ourselves and just really listening to that inner self belief that we were talking about earlier as well.
Absolutely.
And so, what is the phone app you use the most?
Well, there's like three.
Okay, what are all three? Is it pretty equal? Would you say it's equal?
Yeah, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok.
There you go. Because that's where the videos are. So it makes sense.
Basically, that's where I'm building connections. I am really truthfully looking at content to get ideas, but also just truthfully building a connection with somebody.
I love that. I think that's very, very important, especially for what you do. And so, what is the last book you've read?
Oh, I'm reading a lot of books, but I'm reading right now it's Winning by Tim Grover.
Mm, the reference earlier makes sense. I love it. So, if you were to have a movie about your life thus far, who would play you?
Hmm.
Or who would you want to play you?
Oh, if I had to pick somebody, I would say um Priyanka Chopra because she's Indian and I'm Indian, but I also really like her. So
She's a great actress.
yeah, she's a great actress.
I love it. Great response. So, what is your favorite family recipe? If you have one or one that you make together.
So the one there is, so I don't know how to make what my mom knows how to make.
Mhm.
I actually learned a lot of stuff that she didn't make because she's a vegetarian. So something that I would pass on would be chicken tikka masala.
Chicken masala is so good. I don't eat chicken anymore, but I love chicken masala. I love Indian food in general, but
Well, then there's paneer, so you can make paneer tikka masala.
that is true. I had that like a few weeks ago. It's really good. I'm like craving it now. So, if you had to describe yourself as an animal, what animal would you describe yourself as?
See, this is a good question because I was like, I have to, I know like a friend of ours she's a tiger, but I've
Hmm.
never really, I've always associated with an elephant, but I'm not an elephant because I know they have qualities and characteristics of it. So this is a hard one because I don't really know. Because I know I want to, I would just say a cheetah because I'm fast and I do attack when I'm ready and I take my time because that's what I've known. But this is somebody who has not researched her animals. So if you're watching this or you're listening to this and you're like, does she understand? I, full transparency. I have no idea, but I'm gonna go
Well,
with that.
I feel like it sounds about right, but if anyone has like it agrees with us, put it in the comment section below.
Me
Let us
too.
know.
Or
That's a
actually,
great.
I would love to know if you're listening to this point, would love to know what animal would you think I am more associated with? Put it in the comments because I would love to read that.
Yeah, I would too. I'm. That's a good way to put it. Awesome. So if you were having a bad day, or just your day is not going your way, what instantly makes it better?
Oh man, I can cook or I will dance, go work out,
Ooh.
talk to my daughter. Um, this is always one of my favorites. I always put a smile on somebody's face. That has always been something. I'll purposely go and order something, and I will always order a large smile. And always they're like, "What? It's not on the menu." I'm like, "I want a large smile." And they stop and they're like, you're the best.
That is amazing. I love that. I'm sure it just shifts every like that person's day, the energy, but also I'm sure it changes your day too.
It has. I have heard, you do not know how much that meant to me. You just turned my whole day around. You, you actually cared. Like their whole attitude, even if they didn't say anything, you can tell their whole aura just changed just by that simple act.
Oh, I love that. Huh. It's just like a feel good video right now. So what I know we talked about ways that like your day gets instantly better, but if you have like a day off, you're not coaching clients, what do you do for fun? How do you spend your day? What does it look like?
I would love sleeping, so I'm sleeping. Or I'm out, I want to go out, walk around, see the city, see the activities, shopping. Well, not shopping. Grocery shopping to cook and make something really fun, or just eating really good food. I'm pretty much like not, I'm complete opposite of what I show online. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm in person, I'm a lot more like watching my sceneries, watching the people, because art, we art imitates life. So life gives us a lot of examples of what we could show in our videos and what we could express. So if you sit down and you really pay attention to what's going on, you'll see so many ideas. You'll get so many ideas. You'll be like, ah, that's going to be cool. Let me try that.
I love it. It's just like the creativity flows when we're in the present moment and not like the hustle and bustle or just really being in tune with the energy around us and the environment.
Yes. Yes. I'm all about that.
Me too. um, so the last question I have of these is what's something an outsider wouldn't know about your industry?
Something that you don't know about this industry is that we do a lot of research. We do more than you believe. Why? Because it's not about what I think you should know. It's what are you asking that you want to know. So it's just talking to people, getting to understand what is it that's holding you back, or what is it that you have questions on, or how can I use this video to network with people, or why should I put a video on my website and how will that help me when I'm not there? So you I just feel like maybe people know this, but I know for a fact every content creator who's a video coach, they are doing so much research, like so much. And they're not always getting clients. Like it's hard. When they are getting clients, it's because they did the research. They understood what was being told and they're producing that content.
I love it. Well, I'm excited for you and this journey you've been on. So, where can people find you so they can hire you, but also learn more about what you're up to and what you're doing?
You can find me on Instagram. The link will be below. I'm also on TikTok. I am asking for a huge, huge favor. I want to hit 1,000 followers by the end of this year so that I can do TikTok lives and add to my arsenal of where I go live. And you can also find me on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you and even introduce you to the whole community.
I love it. You're the pillar of connection. I love that. And so thank you so much, Sri, for being on here today and sharing just your knowledge base all about video, your experience, your journey of entrepreneurship, and just the powerhouse that you are. So I'm so grateful to have you, and thank you again for the opportunity to interview you.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for this beautiful opportunity to spend time with you and your community to share these nuggets. And I truly hope that anybody who's watching this, if this is, you got a gem, please come message me. Let me know that you saw this. And I would love, love, love. And I'll even give you a 30-minute consultation for free if you tell me a gem that I shared that resonated with you.
Wow. Take advantage of that, people. That's amazing. A beautiful offer as well. So make sure everything will be below in the links, or the links will be below. So make sure to click right on there so you can connect immediately with Sri and get your videos out there. And we'll see you on the next video.